In light of very recent events, not just within the past day, but the past week and the past several years, I feel it's important to give this particular quick and honest review, recap to anybody thinking about seeing this movie to prepare you for the experience that you are about to step into. So, to begin, I saw a lot of people posting under the trailers, question marks. What is this? What is this movie about? What am I looking at? And if you saw the trailer, it is very elusive. They don't really give you a full picture of what is about to happen on the screen. So I want to tell you, hello everyone. If this movie, One Battle After Another, is on your radar to go and see it in theaters, but you are someone that is trying to use your theater moments to check out of current events, this is not the movie for you. If you are a gentle viewer, meaning you are easily taken aback by certain topics or presentations of topics, this is not the movie for you. So with that, I will also say, if you still would like to go see this movie, which I'm not trying to discourage you from, I'm just trying to prepare your mind for what you are about to see. When you go into the theater, try to have an open mind, because this is going to be a very unique storyline and presentation of storyline you are about to receive. The themes are going to be very familiar. The action sequences and the events that happen, even if they're not based in fact, are going to be feeling very familiar to you. So take that with you as you're walking into this experience of One Battle After Another. I understand why they kept the marketing very elusive, but I don't want people to walk in and be totally shocked and taken aback about what they experience on screen. However, as much as I do love to give spoilers, if you are someone that has an open mind and, certain subjects don't bother you, this movie will be better enjoyed with as minimal details beforehand as possible. So I'm going to break it up into 4 quick acts. With each act, I'm going to give you a quick overview of the tone, but try to keep the reveals as minimal as possible. Again, I just want you to have a sense of what you're going to be walking into in the theater, not necessarily every single plot point, because those are best left kind of hanging in the balance until you are in front of the screen. And again, I was told by somebody that saw this movie 2 days or the day before I went to go see it, that while they were watching the movie in the theater, 2 or 3 people stood up and left about halfway through. So let's begin. Let's begin with Act 1, which we will call the revolution. The revolution begins in not necessarily today, but within a few years before today. We have a group of people that believe so strongly in a cause that they take it to a very straightforward and upfront display of events. In the middle of this uprising, this revolution, a very unexpected and unique love triangle develops. And from that is born a very beautiful baby girl. The thing about revolutions is it's a 50-50 chance. 50% of the time, it is going to make a social change. The other 50% of the time, it is going to have devastating consequences to the participants. And that is what we see with this particular revolution. Everything that could possibly go wrong does, and they must all the ones surviving, scatter to the wind, including this new baby. Let's spring forward to Act 2 and call it Second Life. This occurs about 16 years after the revolution. We are in right about the now, present day. From that revolution sprung a hero, a major who becomes a general. And that general gets an invite from a very specific cabal of people called the Christmas Adventure Club. Going to be very important. I will say that this particular group of persons are very strong about keeping things pure. So they set events about in motion to keep things pure. The general is invited to become a member, their newest member, with one caveat. He has to have his whole background examined from top to bottom to make sure he is the finest of the fine. He is superb and superior enough to enter this group. The general goes, no problem, except in the back of his mind, he goes, one problem. Whatever happened to that little baby girl? And he sets the task out to his soldiers. They must find every single missing revolutionary. And thus begins the second escape. Act 3, the desert, or sins of the mother. After fleeing for her life from this general, this young woman who has been told her entire life by her real father that her mother, Pravidia Beverly Hills, died a hero, finds out from the general and everyone else that her mother, who has been missing for all these many years, is not who she thought she was. In fact, she may be the cause of everything that happened from that first revolution. We can even say that her mother's sins are the reason why this young woman may be about to be trafficked across the border. And while I won't give away the ending, I do want to close out by offering you an insight onto the most important theme that is going to flow throughout, and that is family and heritage. Also, friends and real community. So even in the most violent of times, those things, if they can hold true, can save the day. I also want to make a big note about how strong every single performance in this movie is. Sean Penn is phenomenal. He completely loses himself in his character to the point where even though he is a villain, you are just blown away by how magnanimous his performance is. Leonardo DiCaprio is very funny, but in the moments where he needs to be serious, he plays that straight on. I don't know the young woman's name who plays the daughter, but she is excellent. Again, this is a fully stacked cast that appears throughout, and they all give such strong. So keep in mind, if you do go and see this, this is going to be an experience that may change the way you see the day after you watch it. I don't think anyone involved in this movie or the movie itself will be winning any awards, mainly because of the topics, but more so how the topics are presented. However, if you are someone who views it all the way through, you will be walking out making a lot of mental notes and recalling a lot of themes that are relatable and visible in the now. A++ for originality, for acting, for visuals, for boldness. Again, be warned, this movie will not be able to be viewable by everyone. It makes a lot of big statements, so prepare yourself now, and you will most likely have a lot to think about as you're exiting.